Today I'm going to talk about something interesting, and that was that event which has been happened a few years back. I was conducting a leadership session, and during my leadership session, there was a tea break in the moment, and I've come across a person who was being the attendee of my session. And I just walked towards him, and we have a chit chat, and I've just inquired him about his family, how his kid is doing, how his family is doing. The moment I asked this question, I've observed that this person became a little bit emotional while listening to my question. And I was surprised as well, because I've not asked anything very strange. And upon inquiring further about that aspect, he told me that he was the CEO of a company which was 28,000 people who have been working there. And he said that he has left his job and he's now doing a job in some government organization here in UAE, and he has actually restarted his family, and he's happy with the new scenario. And I was surprised. I said, but you mentioned you have been the CEO of some of the company. He said, Kamran, when I was being there, I was too much occupied towards my professional success that I sacrificed my family, and I do not have a time for them. So ultimately they have left me. And that was so devastating experience for myself, because once I was been sitting in my corner big office, and I was thinking, was this is the success I was looking for? Was this is the moment I was been waiting for? Absolutely not. And he said, I feel that vacuum in my life. And then I decided that I have to go back into that domain where I having a balance in my life. And when he talked about the balance, he said, then I came back to UAE and I started my family again, and I've been having my job over here, and I've been happily living as far as my job is concerned. Now, that has triggered a process for myself, and I said, I have to go and to talk about how we can bring a balance in our life. How can we draw the circle of life? So I would invite you, let's take an A4 size paper and just draw that circle around. And if you are being in the middle of it, then you identify what are the important domains in your life. This is called the personal life, professional life, your financial life, your spiritual life, and your family life. So once you will draw these things or these domains, then on each spike, you can divide this segment into 5 sub-segments over here. So for example, from 1 to 5, you can divide that aspect over here. So 1 is the minimum and 5 is the maximum. Now, if you started taking that aspect and you say, let's consider about your personal life. Now, when we say your personal life, so it means that which status of your health you are being right now. So if your health has to be absolutely phenomenal and being perfect in every aspect, then you can rate yourself as 5. But if you are struggling with some serious medical issues right now, you should, you can evaluate yourself somewhere at 2 or 1 or 3. It all depends on to you. So let's evaluate ourselves. And this is your paper, this is your evaluation. No one is going to ask you to show that. So please be very fair within yourself. So let's say if I evaluate myself, hypothetically, I say, okay, let's say I will give myself a 3 over here on the domain of 1 to 5, where 5 is maximum, 1 is minimum. I rate myself at 3. Now, when I look into the professional life, and when I look into what is absolutely the perfect scenario I've been looking for in my life, what exactly is the achievement I would like to achieve in my life, what are the things I have the aspiration to achieve, and if I say, if I'm being achieved all of them, I must rate myself at 5. But if it is not the 5, I have to rate somewhere on that scale. So let's say I rate myself at 4 over here. Similarly, when I look into my financial life, where I stand right now in comparison to what I want to achieve and where I'm been standing right now, I'm going to evaluate myself. I will say, okay, I'm being somewhere at 3 over here. Similarly, when I look into my spiritual life and I say what exactly is the direction I would like to take, where I'm been standing right now, what I have to achieve, what I have not been achieved. So I evaluate myself. I will put myself, let's say, somewhere over here, maybe 2 over here. Similarly, when I look into my family life and I say in every shape, if my family is going to be having a perfectly happy family life, I'm going to put it 5. If I'm somewhere at the middle or at the start, so let's say I put myself at 4. Now, when I put that score around, then I would invite you, let's connect the dots. Now you are connecting the dots. And these are the dots you are connecting. Now, once you will connect the dots, you will get certain semicircle inside the bigger circle. Now, once you have got that, so let's make that as a solid line, because this is going to be emerge as your circle of life. Now, to make it more visible, let's say we make it a bit shaded one. So this is going to be my circle of life. Now, my dear friends, if I ask you this question, imagine if this is the shape of a circle of my life, and imaginary if I having a car, having all of the wheels, 4 wheels are of the same shape, and they are fitted inside my car, and I'm driving that car, what would be my journey look like? Is it going to be a very smooth journey, or is it going to be a bit of a bumpy ride? Yes, answer is clear. It is going to be a bumpy ride for myself because my wheel is not being in perfect harmony. This is the same scenario which happened in our life. Whenever we go on to a journey in our life and our life is not in a perfect harmony, we got that bumpy ride. So what we have to do, the thing which we have to do, we have to focus into it. Even if I'm being on 3 on each of the aspects, might be I'm having a very balanced life, I'm being happy with it because each and everything is in proportion. But in that sort of scenario, I have to focus on some of the areas where I'm not in perfect harmony. So when I look into that part, for example, let's say I would say, okay, my spiritual side, something I feel a bit emptiness within myself. I'm not being very much happy, irrespective I'm been getting some of the success around. So that give me an idea that I have to do something over here in my spiritual life, or I have to do something in my financial life as well, because if I will work onto this domain, it means that I'm being able to bring my shape of my wheel in a better way, and that identify what could be my focus area. So when I'm been working on my focus area, which has been reflected over here, it means that I'm being able to bring a better harmony in life. I invite all of you who has been with me that you can just draw your circle in life and you can pinpoint accuracy, you can identify which areas which require your immediate attention to bring a perfect harmony in life.